Hello and welcome to What If Naruto Had Star Release. Now, Star Release is a match between lightning and fire with flying, explosion release, and black lightning. Um, you also have extreme amount of speed, and yeah. Now I'm also gonna have this guy because why not? And so, this guy. What do you mean? Me? What if Naruto had Star Release? Yes. So, of course, Naruto, blah, blah, blah. Now, Naruto is actually going to be the reincarnation of the same thing, Ashura. And so, after help, he says, okay, so, I don't know. Your TV in the background, Poggy moments, why not? Oh, God. I was going to say that I think the stars are lining up. Okay, yeah. Yes, he gets it. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So one day when he was 7, I think this is like, similar. Accidentally does Kamui and actually passes out from all the energy. And he sees this guy and he's like, Now he's actually passed out for about 9 hours, but he calls himself the Nightwing Tiger, but he likes to call himself Nightwing since it's a little bit more easier. So they've been training for about 900,000 years. So he's been able to do the Tornado Rasengan, a giant Tornado Rasengan. Now the Tornado Rasengan is a even upgraded, pretty much a upgraded version of a Rasengan at Mach 2. So, and now he learns the giant Rasengan. So it took him almost, 500 years to do the giant Rasengan without clones. 3,000 years. 3,000 years to do it without clones. The Tornado Giant Rasengan. I'm just gonna call it the Giant Rasengan since it's more easier. So he can only do this, and yeah. So the Tornado Rasengan is of course, a upgraded version. So everything, it kind of pulls the chakra in. So it pulls the chakra in. So technically, okay. So it took him only 500 years to do the the Tornado Rasengan without clones, and he also has how my Hero Academia Izuku Midoriya has the little one, has all for one, or one for all, or whatever those. Yeah, no. So there's also the night, the 10 night gate. So the 10 night gate. The 10 winged gates. Now the 10 winged gates is extremely hard to pull off. Extremely increases your strength. So the first one is the opening. So it extremely, maybe 10 times more, like about 4 times more stronger than the regular 8 gates, and even 1 time stronger than the, 10 times stronger than the heavenly, whatever they're called. And so he can only go up to about 5. Now every single one goes up to speed. It goes up to speed, and that's about 900 years. So he's been able. So after that, he's accidentally made this, and it's called the flying. Not the flying Rasengan. The mini, because this guy knows everything, and I mean everything about knowledge. So he knows everything about Rasengan. So he calls it the mini Rasengan Shuriken. So yeah, you can do the same thing with the impact, and you can impact mini impact Rasengan Shuriken. But just so like it looks like this because he actually made that because he was training on everything, and when he was training on his Tornado Rasengan, he accidentally made this, the flying Rasengan, but I like to call it the mini Rasengan Shuriken. Now, of course, it's with flying type. Now, it is very destructive. I mean, it can go through about 2 mountains, almost like 3, but like 3.5. So like 1, 2, and then it goes through half of the 3rd mountain. And so, he's been able to get this. He's been able to perfect this with no shadow clones at all. And now, since it's about 150 years, he's been able to do a giant one of this. So he calls it the super mini Rasengan Shuriken. And he calls it that because it's more easier, because it's like big. It's pretty big. So I mean, it's probably as big as this guy. So this guy's like, what, 3,000 feet tall. It's not that big. It's like, what, 4? No, that's way too much. I mean, this guy's actually like 900,000 feet tall. This is about 5 feet tall, so it's okay. It's pretty big. I mean, like 10 feet, like 5 feet. So it will do a lot of impact. So then he's been able, after about perfecting that, he's been able to accidentally make a impact one, because he usually throws it. So he's made a impact one where it explodes. So he calls it the impact mini Rasengan Shuriken, because it will turn. So it looks like this, and then it will turn into a giant Rasengan as more as you fly back, because So after waking up with like 4 abs, I guess, why not? So he goes back to school. He's technically like, ouch, as Naruto feels right now. So he kind of just walks back to school. Probably school's off, so like, never mind. So he goes back home, of course, everything, and well, let's just say he has not. Let's just say he has drip release, so he accidentally touches the wall, and everything turns into drip. I'm just kidding. Of course, he kind of sweeps up everything. Not everything was good, of course. So he just went to sleep, and then what was it called? He went to sleep, kept training, so he trained for about 9 to about 60,000 years. Yeah, 60,000 years. So he's been able to make a super impact mini Rasengan Shuriken. So I mean, it gets big enough to like what? Maybe. So it's as big as about 100 feet. This guy is about 300,000 feet. I mean, like, no, that's way too much. Yeah, so after that, he also notices that he has lightning release and fire release. So he makes these. He makes the electric Rasengan and the sun Rasengan. He makes the sun Rasengan, which is of course the fire Rasengan, and he makes the shock Rasengan. I mean, not the shock Rasengan. The lightning Rasengan, and that's pretty. So he's been able to he's been able to perfect it, but only the fire one. He wasn't able to do the lightning one for long, so he had to have at least 3 clones so he can do the lightning Rasengan, because that's pretty. Yeah. So yeah. Then it's you know, the come on. Thank you. Finally worked. So now it is about a year after. So now he can do the electric Rasengan like nothing, and he's also has made a impact he has also made a impact Rasengan. I mean a impact sun Rasengan, or the sun, or just the super sun Rasengan, or the SSR. So he can't do any like other giant. He can't do so many other giants, but yeah. So after a while, once he's done, of course, then he gets to the bell test. So he's actually been done with that, and so he's also been able to make these. I mean, have these. So he has this one. He has these. He has this. And if he wants to, he can spin it. He can spin it into this. So, it's probably not gonna be a long video since I'm sleepy. Now, all that, bell test comes in, and he's like, blah 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 blah. And yeah, blah blah blah. Kakashi's the same, and of course, Naruto's meditating. Of course, yeah. Of course, still working on the lightning Rasengan. Now the lightning Rasengan shocks the person enough that like they're pretty much paralyzed for about 10 to about 15 seconds. So they're on the ground, and he has enough chakra to rival Hashirama and Madara. Like it's like, oh, not really like it's nothing. Like he'll be able to do a fire Rasengan after that. Boom! So the fire Rasengan gives you about a a lot of power. So I mean, it's kind of like an upgraded version of this. So it's like a really upgraded version of this. So then the super one is about 10 times better. 10 times better than anything. So when he does this, sometimes, you'll see. So if you're hearing like wind and stuff in the background, it is hot in this living room. No cap. If I sneeze, it's here my allergies are this big freaking this big wall that has this all this blocks and stuff on the left side that currently Yeah. So. Uh, so after a while, um, he still uses this, of course, for like range. So he also has the Sun Impactor Singon, but he can only do an extent to make a small giant Rasengan. So I mean like Naruto's first ever time making a giant Rasengan. And then hanging on a person. So after that, I have no script for this at all. I never have scripts like ever, so I have to go on the top of my head, literally every single time. So then it gets to the bell test, blah blah blah. He talks, blah blah blah, and then he says to attempt to kill, which he really shouldn't have said that, but he'll be like, force him throwing a, not throwing. He'll wait, just waiting, so he'll get back, he'll wait. Of course, same thing happens in canon. Of course, him not moving. Of course. My what? My allergies always do this. I don't know why. So Naruto's just walking up. Now, when he has a uh, um, he can make purple armor around his body, so it's kind of imperfect armor around his body. Yeah, and so he's walking up, and he's only able to do it around his not thumb. That's for surely not. You know how there's the part where there's the arm? I mean, there's the hand. Then there's the second part, and then there's the top. But I don't remember where that was. But yeah, there you go. So after a while, I don't know. He's just walking up to Naruto's just walking up to the Kakashi, and he just says, Shadow Clone Jutsu. No hand signs, by the way, because he's been perfected that thing. Shadow Clone Jutsu. About 4 Shadow Clones run at Kakashi at insane speeds. Insane speeds that maybe a S rank. No, that's way too. Yeah, S rank. Yeah, S rank. And like, it's fast. Boom, 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 boom. Hunting him at extreme amount of speeds. And he's like, gone. Naruto's gone. All you see is just a trace of lightning coming off of Naruto's hand. He's like, it's like a, yeah, it's like a trace of lightning coming off of Naruto's hand. He's like, he just flashes, and I mean a insane top speed that even the Sharingan, I mean the internal Mangekyo Sharingan cannot see. He's like electric Rasengan. Now, if you have seen Street Fighter, you would know that there's the Hadouken. Yeah, that. So he kind of has it in that type of position. He's like boom, pushing him back, making him flying back. Boom, boom, boom. And he fell on his face. He's like, I can't move. Now, Naruto would make a Sun Rasengan, and he'd like fly up in the air. Not technically flying. Well, technically he does have flying release. So, I mean, yeah, flying release. So he flies up in the air at insane speeds and flies down. And he calls this the Dragon Rasengan. Now, a whole red dragon. I mean, the size of like it's just pretty much it's the size of Shenron, almost the size of like Shenron, so it's not that big. So it's like a Kamui, so I mean a Kami, because that remember that if you've seen Naruto, there's that really giant blue dragon. So imagine a mini version of that. So like a not like a mini. Not like a mini version, I mean like a maybe 300 centimeters maybe. So it's pretty big. Golfing Naruto. Well, not actually golfing. Yeah, engulfing Naruto. And that's at extremely fast speeds. And Rasengan gets like not bigger, but like gets even more chakra. So I mean he's putting about 94, like about 56% of his power in there. It was like big hard boom. So you good? So after that, he does that, and he calls it the Dragon Rasengan. So that's pretty big. So it's pretty big. So after that, it full-on engulfs Naruto, and then it condenses itself into Rasengan, into the Rasengan, and his fist is like a Hadouken, but like way more different. It's like I would show you my addings, like everything. Like it would look like this. His hand will look like this. Oh, sorry. So he does that, and he's like, "Be gone." He calls it the Dragon Rasengan because a red dragon engulfs him, and then kind of crunches down on the Rasengan, condensing itself on the Rasengan, and pushes it down on Kakashi's back. Now about 10 seconds has passed by now. If I'm correct, I said 15 seconds would be paralyzed, and that was like at what 30% of his power when he used that. So he's about 30 seconds paralyzed. I'm done for. And since you can't, like, he couldn't do anything. Like, I mean, he could use his chakra. He could use his chakra, but like it wouldn't help him at all. Boom, hitting Kakashi at insane speeds, and it'll like make a, like I mean, maybe like a, not a mini universal pull, like not a almighty push, but like a mini one. So I mean like maybe just destroy it's about one. So there's half, and then there's full. So imagine half of that, and then cutting a slash down, and that's like I guess you could say 1/3. I guess. Or like 0/3. So like it's big. So you know, like we gotta get out of here, because like it's just creating so much wind pressure that is making them fly back, and all you see is it looks like just a sun, just a really big, bright, giant big thing. I don't know, like a sun, I guess. And it like engulfs both of them, so it's like a boom, boom, boom. So when it happens, when he hits Kakashi, of course, yeah, everything happens. But when he hits Kakashi, there's this red little circle around Naruto's entire body. So it comes from the Rasengan and it goes up, making it getting bigger. And there's about four of them. So it's like boom, 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 boom. No, this has enough to maybe kill about. This is enough to about. I don't know. At 100% of his power, it's enough to kill about 900 people. So it's equal to kill about 20 20 mountains, and that's a really big deal. So that happens, and yeah. He's like, I'm. And Naruto would actually use the flying ration. Remember, he does have all the knowledge, so he would use the flying ration. He was like, flying ration. Now he actually doesn't. He doesn't have to do that since he's been training with that for like 500 years. So he throws one, and he flies over there, grabbing the bells, flying back to where he was, and then adding another fire Rasengan to that, but a tiny bit more gears, so like about 41%. So he's been to like, he calls it. He just adds another one to the other one, so now it only makes about 2. So he adds another one. It only makes 2. So you know when Aaron was fighting Reiner, the third time when he had that ice, I think it was. Yeah, he had those little wind pressure things, bubbers. Yeah, imagine those, but red. So it's like, yeah, coughing up so much blood. Well, caught, and then Naruto would actually Kamui, well not Kamui, but actually like, you know, teleport to one of his Raijins, flying Raijin. And it was like, and so he just gets back and it's like, huh, I wasn't using 100% of my power for a week. Whatever. Still got the bells though. Of course, I'm holding both of the bells. And then cutting one in half and then throwing one of them. Of course, it flies back because of all the wind pressure. And it actually goes to Sasuke and Sakura. I'm like, huh? Grabbing both of the bells. He's like, that was easy. It was like a good day today. It's like a big, it's a pretty big smoke. So like, I imagine, so I see, so who's in seeing this and like, who could have done this? I already used my 10, use my 10 wing gates. What a dumber. So, after that, let's just send it off. Never mind. So after that, he goes and okay. So then it goes blah 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 blah. Tazna's mission. So yeah, honestly, I'm probably just gonna end it off here because Poggy moments. Why freaking not? Now, this is going to be 30 seconds. So yeah, honestly, I'm just waiting for the 30-second mark to come in. So yeah, in 3, 2, 1.